2 weeks ago, I filmed a video called Real World MPG. That's where I took the 2024 Toyota Tacoma with the 6-speed manual for a little trip. We took over 100 miles of highway driving in at 75 miles an hour, and we reported back at MPG of right around 20 miles to the gallon. Well, a lot of you commented and you wanted to see that same test done at 65 because it was more indicative about how you drive. And the goal for this channel is to provide, car buying confidence. So enough of you asked that we're going to do it. Today, I'm going to drive over 100 miles at 65 miles an hour, and we're going to report what the gas mileage is. Now, the one note that I do have is over the first 1,500 miles of my ownership of this Tacoma, I've seen a combined rating at right around 19.5. In the last 400 or so miles, my combined rating has increased to 20.2. So just a minor caveat for this video, but let's head to the gas station. We'll fill it up. We'll drive over 100 miles and we'll report back. Let's do it. We're filling up at the same gas station that we did for the first test, and we are going to be using 87. Now, I'm letting it fill till it hits the first click, waiting another 30 seconds, and then topping it off, and we will do the same when we return. All right, folks, gas is in the tank. It's time to hit the road. Let's go over how I'm going to be doing this. 65 miles per hour on cruise control for as long as I can. So obviously I can't do 65 mile an hour on off ramps or pulling into the gas station, but by and large, we're going to be doing 65 for the duration of the trip on cruise control. My climate control is going to be set to the same temperature it was during the 75 mile an hour test. And yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. I'm going to keep this video a lot shorter because if you guys want my thoughts for how this truck is on the highway or how it sounds on the highway, I got a bunch of other videos that document that in detail. So we're just addressing the questions that folks had for the number at 65. So I'm going to use some TV magic, get this drive done, come back to this gas station, and then we'll do some math. Let's get after it. In the first video where we did this at 75 miles per hour, I sort of expected to get lower than the 23 mile per gallon number that Toyota estimates for the manual Toyota Tacoma. So getting that 20 miles to the gallon mark at 75 just kind of made sense. And now reducing the speed to 65, I know that that number will go up, but I'm curious by how much. Will we achieve the 23 number? Will we go even higher? That is what I am really curious about, because while 10 miles an hour has a low impact over, even 100 miles, you're not much time saved going 75 or 65, the potential delta you could save in fuel could be large enough where it's worth it. But over the course of this time lapse, you start to see the weather turn for the worse. While we started off with some sprinkles at the beginning of this journey, towards the end, the weather started to get nasty, and getting up to 65 miles per hour to be honest, it was starting to get to the point to where it was risky. So as a result, we called it a little bit under 100 miles, but I am really intrigued to see what the number ends up being. So let's throw it back to me at the gas station and let's do some quick math. Well, we are back at the gas station, and it wouldn't be a 2024 Tacoma video if it wasn't raining. It literally started pouring on my return trip back, lightning and all. It's as if Massachusetts has turned into Seattle. But we're going to fill up and then we'll come back and let's do some quick math. So we're at the same gas station that we were when we initially put fuel in the tank. We're putting 87 in, and we are following the same procedure that we did initially. So I'm going to fill it up till we get to the first click, wait 30 seconds, and then get that click again. And that is the gallon number we will use to make the calculation. We drove roughly 94 miles. I'll show the trip in just a second, but I'm really curious to see where we end up here, because we got 20 miles to the gallon doing this drive at 75. How close to that 23 mile to the gallon rating will we get, or will we even get higher? There's the first click. We waited 30 seconds and hit it again, and bang, we get the second click. So 3.605 gallons is the amount used, and we drove 94 miles. All right, folks, we are back inside the car. Let's do some quick math to see where the 2024 Toyota Tacoma lands on a highway MPG test where we're not driving 75, but we're driving 65. I did 94 miles. We were going to push it above 100, but it's raining really, really hard. And if it rained any harder, I wouldn't have been able to sustain the 65-mile-an-hour speed. So I pulled off, deemed 94 okay. If y'all don't think it's okay, let me know in the comments and we can fight about it. 94 miles. And then I put 3.609 gallons of gas. So if we do that math, 94 miles divided by 3.609 gallons of gas, we get 26.05 MPG. And that number is astonishing for two reasons. Reason number one, if you compare it to other automatic drivers and other videos on YouTube where folks do highway MPG tests, the automatic gets roughly 27, 28 MPG. If you're trying really hard, you got it in eco, you're doing all this, hyper miley BS. Versus here, I got my AC on auto, we're in normal mode, nothing is special except for the fact that I was driving at 65 instead of 75. So to get 26 miles to the gallon on the highway is pretty astonishing, and it means that our highway range at 65 is now this number, which is pretty sizable, even though we do have a reduced gas tank over the prior generation. But the second thing is 26 miles to the gallon is pretty damn good for a pickup truck. So I'm probably going to keep the speed down, just drive at 65 on the highway and maybe leave a little bit earlier from the house. 26 miles to the gallon. That's the score. That's the result. I'm Money Shift. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.